everyone. I am Ophira. Welcome to the Speech and Drama Performance Day. Through this workshop, we have given so much confidence, built on our teamwork, improved our speech and diction, developed our personality, worked on an imagination building and improvisation in just few sessions. This is an interactive performance day. We would like you all to be a part of this. So are you all ready? Yes! So let's hit it!
Hey Darish, did you know? I heard there's a burglar in the neighborhood. Are you serious? Don't give me the jitters. We'd better be careful.
Yeah. Hi.
Ah! We thought it was a burglar. So, let's go before he sees my new iPad.
Yeah.
The Academy for Creative Expressions presents The Old Maid and the Burglar, Anonymous.
The Old Maid and the Burglar, Anonymous.
Oh, listen to the story of a burglar bold who broke into a house. He opened the window and crept inside, as silent as a mouse. He hoped to get some swag. He hoped to make a haul. But if he knew it was an old maid's house, he wouldn't have had the gall. At night, the skinny old maid came in. "I'm so tired," she said.
She took off her teeth and a big glass eye and the hair of her head. The burglar had 1,000 fits as he watched from under the bed. From under the bed, the burglar crept. He was totally wrecked. And at night, she grabbed him by the neck. She didn't scream or holler, and all she said was, "Saints be praised! At last I found a man."
From under the pillow a pistol she took, and to the burglar said,
"Young man, if you don't marry me, I'll blow off the top of your head."
The burglar was too scared to shout. He was too scared to scoot. He took one look at the big glass eye and said,
For Pete's sake, shoot!
William Shakespeare was the world's greatest dramatist. He was often called England's national poet. And the band of Ace presents 7 Ages of a Man by William Shakespeare.
7 Ages of Man by William Shakespeare. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arm, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth, and then the justice in fair round belly.
With a good cape lined, with eyes severe and a beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon.
With spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose will save the world, a world too wide for his shark and shank and his big manly voice. Then turning again towards the childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound.
Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful histories is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Nissim Ezekiel is a well-known poet and a dramatist. He's won many awards such as the Sahitya Academy Award. Today you will hear one of his famous pieces. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a gold-level piece, The Night of the Scorpion, by Nissim Ezekiel. I remember the night my mother was stung by a scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sacrifice. Parting with his poison flash of diabolic tail in the dark room, he risked the rain again. The peasants came like swarms of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. With candles and with lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud-baked wall, they searched for him. He was not found. They clicked their tongues. With every moment the scorpion moved, his poison moved in mother's blood, they said. May he sit still, they said. May the sins of your previous birth be burnt away tonight, they said. May your suffering decrease the misfortunes of your next birth, they said. May the sum of evil, balanced in this unreal world, against the sum of good, become diminished by your pain. May the poison purify your flesh of desire and your spirit of ambition, they said. They sat around on the floor with my mother in the center, the peace of understanding on each face. More candles, more lanterns, more neighbors, more insects, and the endless rain. My mother twisted through and through, groaning on a mat. My father, skeptic, rationalist, trying every curse and blessing. He even put a little paraffin upon the bed and he told put a match to it. I watched my mother feeling afraid. I watched the holy man perform his rites to take the poison till him can't take it. After 20 hours of lost its state, my mother only said, God is probably spared my
William Wordsworth, as we all know, is a very famous English poet, and he has written many poems. So one of his famous poems is Lines Written in Early Spring. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a gold plus level poem, Lines Written in Early Spring, by William Wordsworth. I heard 1,000 blended notes, while in a grove I sat reclined, in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man is made of man. Through primrose tufts to that green bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreath, and 'tis my fate that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. The birds around me hopped and played, their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion that they ever made seemed a thrill of pleasure. The budding twigs spread out their fangs to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man?
Let's listen to one of Roald Dahl's most famous poems, The Cow. The Academy for Creative Expression presents The Cow by Roald Dahl.
The Cow by Roald Dahl. Please listen while I tell you now about the most fantastic cow. Miss Milky Daisy was her name, and when aged 7 months, she came to live with us. She did her best to look the same as all the rest. But Daisy, as we all could see, had some kind of deformity, a funny sort of bumpy lump on either side above the rump. Now, not so very long ago, these bumpy lumps began to grow. And maybe 3 or maybe 4 months later, I stood there, an enthralled spectator. These bumpy lumps burst wide apart, and out there came, I crossed my heart, from all the wondrous, marvelous things.
A pair of golden silver wings. A cow with wings. A flying cow. I've never seen one up to now. Oh, Daisy dear, can this be true? She flapped her wings and up she flew. Most gracefully she climbed up high and fairly whizzed across the sky.
You should have seen her dive and swoop. She even did the loop-the-loop. And of course, almost immediately, her picture was on live TV. And millions came each day to stare at Milky Daisy in the air. They shouted, "Jeepers creepers! Wow, it really is a flying cow!" They laughed and clapped and cheered and waved.
And all of them were well behaved, except for one quite horrid man who travelled from Afghanistan. This fellow standing in the crowd raised up his voice and yelled aloud, "That silly cow! Hey, listen, Daisy! I think you're absolutely crazy." Unfortunately, Daisy heard quite clearly every single word. "By gosh," she cried, "what an awful cheek! Who is this silly foreign freak?" She dived, and using all her power, she got to 60 miles an hour. "Bombs gone!" she cried. "Take that!" she said, and dropped the cow bat on his head.
Most people's offices are so noisy and busy and there's so much work to do. Well, my office is different. How? Let me show you. The Academy for Creative Expressions presents a conversational piece, The Office, with words starting with V and W, and it's up to you to find them.
Woo! Oh no, look at the time. We are late again. Oh, that nasty little bug, Liji. That security guard is waiting for us again. He's sure to complain to the boss.
What should we do?
I have an idea. Rhubarb custard! Rhubarb custard! Rhubarb custard! Cool!
Late again. 10:20 a.m.
Oh no! Fire! Fire!
Where?
There! I mean there!
Wait till I come back.
Look at what he's typed. It's 10:20. Let's change it to 9:30.
Done! Let's go!
Oh, hello. This is my card. You can call me whenever you need me. This is my card. Please call me whenever you need me.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. There's a lot to do and very little time. Costume, my new variation lipstick, Max number 422, is over. Quick, get me another one before they go out of stock.
Variation lipstick? Okay.
Abhi, I need you to get me a hair coloring appointment at Juice Salon. Hair coloring, violet, curls and the works.
Hair coloring appointment? Okay.
Abhi, Faizal, I need you to get me a new Louis Vuitton bag.
Louis what?
Louis Vuitton, darling.
Okay.
Ma'am, here is the proposal with Mr. Vajpayee.
Proposal? I didn't know Mr. Vajpayee felt that way about me. Draft him a reply and say, I accept.
Accept?
Okay.
Hema, I need you to get me a new Vera Moda dress.
Vera Moda dress? Okay.
Ma'am, the director of the company is here.
Oh, that workaholic.
Veena, we have to discuss about the emails, meetings and the proposals.
My staff was working on it.
Ma'am, I didn't have the time. I was getting your variation lipstick, remember? I got your hair coloring appointment. Isn't that great?
Ma'am, I got a Louis Vuitton bag. Fashion street.
Ma'am, Mr. Markman says that he's happy accepted to the proposal.
Ma'am, you're wearing with a dress.
Veena, is this what you do when I'm not there around? I'm having a nervous breakdown. I can explain. You are fired.
Yeah!
Security.
Yes.
You're hired.
No!
William Shakespeare is the most well-known dramatist and poet in the world. Today you will hear one of his famous pieces, Julius Caesar. So sit back and enjoy. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a gold-level piece, an extract from Julius Caesar. Friends, women, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often charred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus had told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously had Caesar answered it. Here, under the leave of Brutus and the West, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all. All honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffer fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar had wept. Ambition should be made a sternness stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that under Lupercal. I twice presented him a kingly crown, which he did twice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disapprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withheld you then to mourn for him? O judgment! Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Let's listen to the famous speech
By Martin Luther King, who fought against racial discrimination. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a bronze-level speech
by
Martin Luther King. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
I have a dream that one day, on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a desert state, sweltering with the heat of injustice and oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
I have a dream that one day the state of Alabama, whose governor's lips are presently dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, will be transformed into a situation where little black boys and white girls will be able to walk together as sisters and brothers. I have a dream.
have a dream today.
Arun Kolatkar was a very famous poet from Maharashtra. He has written many poems in Marathi as well as English. One of his most famous poems is Ajmal and the Tigers. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a gold plus level poem, Ajmal and the Tigers, by Arun Kolatkar.
The tiger people went to the king and said, "We're starving. We've got nothing to eat. Not a bite for 15 days and 16 nights. Ajmal has got a new sheepdog.
He cramps our style and doesn't let us get within a mile of meat. That's shocking, said the Tiger King. Why didn't you all come to see me before? Make preparations for a banquet, for I'm going to teach that sheepdog a lesson he'll never forget. Here, here, said the tiger people. Careful, said the queen. But the tiger was gone already into the darkness before the dawn. After an hour, he was back, the good king, with a black patch on his eye and his tail in a sling, and said, I've got it all planned. Now that I know the lie of the land, we all must try. We'll outnumber that son of a witch, and this time there will be no hitch, for this time I shall be leading the attack. Quick as a lightning the sheepdog was, he took them all out as prisoners of war, the 50 tigers and the Tiger King. Before they could get their paws on a single sheep, they never had a chance. The dog was at 51 places all at once. He strung them out all in a daisy chain and flung them in front of his boss in one big heap.
Alfred Noyes was a famous English playwright and poet. Let's hear one of his pieces. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a silver level poem, The Highwayman.
The Highwayman by Alfred Noyes. The wind was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The moon was a ghostly gallon tossed upon the cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor, and the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The highwayman came riding up to the old inn door.
He'd a French-cocked hat on his forehead and a bunch of lace at his chin, a coat of claret velvet and breeches of brown doe skin. They fitted with never a wrinkle. His boots were up to the thigh. He rode with a jewel twinkle, his pistol butts twinkle, his rapier hilt twinkle under the jewel sky.
Over the cobbles he clattered and clashed in the darkened yard. He tapped with his whip on the shutters, but all was locked and barred. He whistled the tune to a window, and who should be waiting there but the landlord's black-eyed daughter? Bless the landlord's daughter, plaiting a dark red love knot into her long black hair.
And dark in the dark old inn yard, a stable wicket creaked, where Tim the ostler listened. His face was white and peaked. His eyes were hollows of madness, and his hair like moldy hay. But he loved the landlord's daughter, the landlord's red-lipped daughter. Dumb as a dog he listened, and heard the robbers say,
One kiss, my bonny sweetheart, I'm after a prize tonight, but I shall be back with the yellow gold before the morning light. Yet if they press me sharply or harry me through the day, then look for me by moonlight, watch for me by moonlight. I will come to thee by moonlight, though hell should bar the way.
She rose upright in the stirrups.
He scarce could reach her hand, but she loosened her hand in the casement. His face burned like a brand, as the black cascade of perfume came tumbling over his breast, and he kissed its waves in moonlight. Oh, sweet black waves in moonlight. Then he tugged at his reins in the moonlight and galloped away to the west.
Roald Dahl is a well-known writer poet. He has written many children's poems, and one of them is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a bronze-level poem, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, by Roald Dahl.
This famous wicked little tale should never have been put on sale. It's a mystery to me why loving parents cannot see that this is actually a book about a brazen little crook. Now just imagine how you'd feel if you had cooked a lovely meal, delicious porridge steaming hot, fresh coffee in the coffee pot, with maybe toast and marmalade, the table beautifully laid, One place for you, and one for Dad, and one for your little lad.
Then Dad cries, "Golly gosh, gee whiz, oh cripes, how hot this porridge is. Let's take a walk along the street until it's cool enough to eat. An early morning stroll is good for people on the whole. It makes your appetite improve. It also helps your bowels move."
No proper wife would dare to question such a sensible suggestion. Above all, not a practice time when men are seldom at their prime. No sooner are you down the road than Goldilocks, that little toad, that nose-heaving little louse, comes sneaking into an empty house. Here comes the next catastrophe. Most educated people choose to rid themselves of socks and shoes before they clamber into bed. But Goldie didn't give a shred. Her filthy shoes were thick with grime, and mud and mush and slush and slime. Worse still, upon the heel of one was something that a dog had done. I say once more, what would you think if all this horrid dirt and stink was smeared upon her eiderdown by this revolting little crown? This famous story has no clues to show the girl removed her shoes. Oh, what a tale of crime on crime. Let's check it for the second time.
Crime 1, the prosecution's case. She breaks and enters someone's place. Crime 2, the prosecutor's notes. She steals a bowl full of porridge oats.
Crime 3, she breaks a precious chair belonging to the baby bear.
Crime 4, she smears each spotless sheet with filthy messes from her feet.
A judge would say without a blink, 10 years hard labor in the clink. But as in the book, as you will see,
The little beast gets off scot-free, while tiny children, near and far, shout, "Goody good! Hooray! Hurrah! Poor darling Goldilocks," they say.
Thank goodness that she got away. Myself, I think I'd rather send young Goldie to a sticky end. "Oh, Daddy," cried the baby bear, "my porridge gone, it isn't fair."
Let's go upstairs, the big bear said. Your porridge is upon the bed, but that's inside, mademoiselle. You have to eat her up as well.
Anneliese Marie Frank was a German-born diarist. One of the most discussed Jewish victims of the Holocaust, she gained fame posthumously with the publication of The Diary of a Young Girl. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a gold-level piece, an extract from The Diary of Anne Frank by Francis Goodrich and Albert Hackett. Look, Peter, the sky. What a lovely, lovely day. Aren't the clouds beautiful? You know what I do when it seems as if I can't stand being cooped up for one more minute? I think myself out. I think myself on a walk in the park where I used to go with Pip, with the jonquils and the quokkas and the violets flow down the slopes. You know the most wonderful part about thinking yourself out? You can have it any way you like. You can have the roses and the violets and the chrysanthemums all blooming at the same time. It's funny. I used to take it all for granted. And now, I've gone crazy on everything to do with nature. Haven't you? I wish you had a religion, Peter. Oh, I don't mean you have to be orthodox and believe in heaven or hell and purgatory and things. I just mean some religion. Doesn't matter what. Just to believe in something. When I think of all that's there, the trees, the flowers and seagulls, when I think of the dearness of you, Peter, and the goodness of the people we know, Mr. Quayle, Beep, Deer, the vegetable man, all risking their lives for us every day. When I think of these good things, I'm not afraid anymore. I find myself, and we're not the only people who've had to suffer. There've always been people who've had to, sometime or another. And yet, I know, it's terrible.
The Academy for Creative Expression presents a Gold Plus level extract on Panchatantra by Gautam Bhatia, the Crow and the Election Commissioner. Near a newly dredged lake, there once existed a large racially balanced community of birds, swans, peacocks, nightingales, owls, ducks, cuckoos, and many other birds of genetically varied avian stock. They all had mutual trust and harmony amongst them and knew their place in the pecking order. They also had implicit respect for each other's wingspan and airspace. And the main reason for their well-being and happiness was the complete absence of political life from the forest. There were no dogmas, no parties, no manifestos, consequently leading to no 10-point plans, no fake promises, no worthless economical policies and income generation schemes. Politics, as we all know, existed from mythological cultures that eventually led to the downfall of civilizations. Similarly, here the birds were going towards the downfall. By life had been good for too long, and now they were going towards the end by organizing a seminar, The Quality of Life. The seminar all began in an informal way. They started sitting in groups and huddles of 2 and 4 rather than being united. They made issues about contemporary morality, low mortality rate, alcoholism and suicide, avian rights, and many other. Soon, the seminar degenerated into a slogan-mongering rally. Then, an intelligent-looking swan from Gujarat stated, "Can a culture exist without a strong political base?" Everyone gave her a dirty look. Soon, a red-breasted robin from Bengal stated, "Why not? Look at Russia. Look at Pakistan. They also have one." Then it was decided political life would be short-lived if they don't have a social and cultural base. What they needed was strong leadership. Soon they started electing a new leader. Someone suggested, "Why don't we appoint the Garuda?" But soon this request was rejected. They said he was too busy serving Lord Vishnu. He was not concerned about the animals in the jungle. Soon they were appointing a leader, going towards the decline of life. It was the downfall. Things had been good for too long, and now they were going to end.
I always travel by a limo.
And I always travel by a plane.
Oh, you're so full of yourself. Have you ever traveled by train?
No.
Well, you must and see those beautiful places in India.
The Academy for Creative Expression presents
A Train by
Harendranath Chattopadhyay.
The Train by Harendranath Chattopadhyay. In the sunshine, through the rain, with the bossing giants fly, crossing mile on mile on mile, over hills and over plains, over and over, over and over, over and over and over again, screaming, steaming, steaming, screaming, fretting, fuming, fire consuming, rattling goes the railway train. Juk, 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 juk. Juk, 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 juk. Juk, 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 juk.
Little makes our stations cry. Look, the train is passing by.
Look, 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 look.
Look, 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 look.
Look, 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 look.
Wheel upon wheel, rattle and reel. Rattle and reel, rattle and reel. Giant of smoke and stubborn steel. Wheel and rattle, wheel and rattle. Tell us, is it off to a battle? Reel and rattle, reel and rattle. Tearing the air and frightening the cattle.
How does it feel to rattle and reel? From there to here, from here to there, frightening the cattle and tearing the air. From there to here, from here to there, to everywhere, to everywhere. Hoo! Dharampur, Berhampur, Berhampur, Dharampur.
Mango, 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 mango.
Mandwa, Khandwa, Khandwa, Mandwa. Raipur, Jaipur, Jaipur, Raipur.
Maregaon, 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 Maregaon.
Nellore, 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 Nellore. Hoo! Ranpur, Kanpur, Kanpur, Ranpur. Swelling its chest without any rest. Under the sky it rattles by. It rushed through. Hoo! And the hills
soldier knew. Someone had blundered. There's not to make reply. There's not to reason why. There's but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600.
Cannons to the right of them, cannons to the left of them, cannons in front of them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell. Boldly they rode and well, into the wells of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600.
Flashed as they turned in air, sabring their gunners there, charging an army wide, all the world wondered. Plunged into the battery smoke, right through the line they broke. Cossack and Russian reeled, and the sabre stroke. Shattered and sundered, then they rode back, but not the 600.
Cannons to the right of them, cannons to the left of them, cannons behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them, left of 600.
When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made. All the world wondered. All the charge they made. All the light brigade. Noble 600.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is one of the most famous children's story written by Roald Dahl. The Academy for Creative Expression presents a silver level play, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl.
Hey Daddy, I've decided I want a squirrel. Get me one of those squirrels.
Oh, don't be silly, sweetheart. All these squirrels belong to Mr. Wonka.
Who said that? I don't care about that. I want one squirrel. All I've got at home is 2 dogs, 4 cats, 6 bunny rabbits, 2 parakeets, 3 canaries, a bowl of goldfish, a cage of 5 mice, a green parrot, a green turtle, and a silly old hamster. I want a squirrel!
All right, my pet. Daddy will get you one as soon as he possibly can.
But I don't want any old squirrel. I want a trained squirrel.
All right, Wonka. Name your price. How much do you want for one of these crazy squirrels?
They're not for sale. She can't have one.
Who said that? I'm going in to grab me one. This very moment.
Don't!
I'm coming!
No. They've all jumped on her. All of her. 25 have a right thumb pinned down. 25 have a left thumb pinned down. 25 have a right leg anchored to the ground. And 24 have a left leg. And the last squirrel is... It's climbed upon his shoulders and started tapping on Veruca's head with its knuckles to see if it's a bad nut.
No! Save her, Veruca! Come back, Veruca! Save her!
They're testing her to see if she's a bad nut. Watch.
We're rather taking her. Veruca!
She's going where all the other bad nuts go. Down the rubbish chute.
By golly, she's going down the chute.
She's gone.
Where is suppose she's gone?
That particular chute runs directly into the great big main rubbish pipe, which carries all the rubbish from every part of my factory. All the potato peelings, floor sweepings, rotten cabbages, fish heads, and stuff like that.
Who eats potatoes and fish and cabbage in this factory? I'd like to know.
I do, of course. You don't think I live on cocoa beans, do you? And of course, it goes to the furnace in the end.
Now see here, Wonka. I think you've gone just a shade too far this time. I do indeed. My daughter can be a bit of a frump. I don't mind admitting that. But that doesn't mean you can roast her to a crisp. I'm really cross about this.
Oh, don't be cross, my dear sir. I expect she'll turn up sooner or later. She may not even have gone down the pipe at all. She may be stuck up in the entrance hole, just below the entrance hole.
Veruca!
And if that's the case, all you have to do is go in and pull her up again.
Veruca, where are you? Veruca! Are you down there, Veruca? Veruca! Veruca! Ah!
Oh no, the squirrels have pushed her through.
Help! Help! Help!
By golly, what a whole lot of rubbish there's going to be there today. How's it down there, Gina? Wait for me, I'm coming.
Ah!
Oh dear, what on earth going to happen to them now?
I expect someone will catch them at the bottom of the chute.
But what about the Great Fury Incinerator?
Oh, that! They only lighted the other day. Perhaps today's one of the day when they let it go. You never know, they might be lucky. I've never seen anything like it. Children are disappearing like rabbits. Oh well, shall we move on?
Oh yes.